So here's my code for the 8Puzzle. So I decided to make this puzzle board a 2D array. So here's the constructor that'll give us the information we need. And here for this neighbors function, we create an array list for the children. And so what this does, it'll check to find the empty or zero value, and it'll create nodes of children to add onto that array list. So if it's 0, 2, or the upper right, it can go down or left. And so we have this move function which will go to switches, and it'll return the array list of the board after it's made that respective up, down, left, right move. And so for the search algorithms, here's all the difficulties and the goal, and here's the things to call the search algorithms. For breadth first search, this will be the stuff that'll be in all the other searches, starting the timer, the total cost and depth. Expanded will keep track of all the nodes we've expanded to avoid repeats. Void will be the queue of nodes we need to check, and space will just be the maximum amount of things in the queue. So we put the start state of the difficulty in, push the start nodes onto the queue. Now for this while loop, we check if the queue is empty, and if not, we pop it from the queue and look for the neighbors. Here we just check to see each time if we found that goal node, and then we end it. If not, we go down a depth, and then we iterate through the neighbors. While I has next for the iteration, we check if it's not in the expanded array list queue, and if not, we can put it back in. We put that into the board, and it'll go back to the while loop. And then, if this takes longer than 5 minutes, we mercy kill it. For depth first search, I decided to make it recursive function, so it'll go here, and it'll be similar to breadth first search, except when we find a thing that hasn't been extended, we go deeper in and using the recursive function, and this usually leads to a Stack Overflow error because this is very bad and should not be used to solve this problem. For uniform cost, we do the same thing as breadth first search, except here we do this thing called min cost node, which just goes through the neighbors and finds the one that has the least cost and returns that one, so it puts that one onto the queue. And for greedy, we do the same thing, timer, all that stuff, except here we have min tiles wrong position. So we go down here to find min tiles wrong position, which will call the tiles wrong position, which will return the number of tiles in the wrong position. It'll find the one of the possible children that has the least amount of tiles in the wrong position, and will return that to go onto the queue. For A star, same thing. Similar to greedy though, it'll call this function called ffind1. What ffind1 does is that it will call tiles wrong position similar to greedy, but it will also add the cost to it. So it'll find the least combination between tiles wrong position and the cost, and then return the one that fits that criteria. For A star 2, same thing, except we have ffind2 instead, and ffind2 will call Manhattan distance, and this is the Manhattan distance code, which will find the total Manhattan distance between all the tiles. We take that, add in the cost to factor in, and find the one that has the least between all of them, return that one. And here's it working in action. Depth first search returning a Stack Overflow error. And that's it. That's how I did the 8Puzzle.